All right, let's segue back into the Howard Stern show.
Okay. Oh boy.
Yeah. So we have finished. I think we're about halfway through the footage, maybe ish. So a guy claiming to be a serial killer has called in on the show, and at this point in time, like Luke said, Howard seemed to be. He didn't believe it in the beginning, I guess you could say, but as time's gone on here, he seems to be more in belief of it, and then he actually starts grilling him on some pretty good questions, I guess, investigative questions.
Yeah.
And he's just very nonchalantly answering it. And I think the part that stuck out to me is how he's correcting Howard. So Howard said she was 16, and he said, no, I was 16 when I first did. He's correcting him as he goes along here, which to me just adds some believability to it. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, it kind of leads into what I was thinking is Howard's deliberately trying to get as much information from this guy as possible to maybe possibly catch this guy. Because, he was like, are you white? He was trying to figure out what, race he was and everything like that. So he got him to say he was white, and then that they originally were actually accusing some black police officer of one of these murders. It seems like he's trying to draw out details that might help pull someone to look from. Immediately, it just seems like the way he's talking to this guy, he is now on a desire to catch him on something.
Let's pull it back up and jump back in here.
And it's just whoever comes up to you. You don't pick a certain type.
I don't even approach them. I wait for them to approach me, Robin.
So that's like them asking for it.
Do you ever look into their eyes and go, gee, these people were just children at one point, and maybe they just had a tough life?
I've let a couple go.
You have. Like, what happened? You're in the middle of killing them, and then they what do they say? Why would you let one go and kill the other?
There was this one.
Go ahead.
I think she was probably really new to it.
Yeah.
There was just something about her. It reminded me of my ex-fiance, but...
Right. You somehow relate...
More of an innocent quality.
You somehow felt bad for her.
Yeah.
And you have a fiance, so you're planning to get married?
No.
He had one, you say.
He had one.
No. If I wouldn't be a suspect, believe me, she'd...
But let me ask you, why'd you did you start to kill her, and then, you said, forget it? Or you just never even...
Not even.
You just had sex. You just had sex with her, and then you let her go.
I didn't even have sex with her, Howard.
Well, that's weird. Now, that's weird.
He just really felt sorry for them.
I don't know what she was doing what she was doing, but...
Are you a big fat mess?
But she got off lucky.
Are you a big fat mess, or are you a fairly good-looking guy?
I'm not a mess. I wouldn't call myself good-looking. I don't know what I'd call myself, Howard.
Right.
Do you have a decent job and all that stuff?
Sounds like a bright guy.
Not decent like you have.
Yeah, well, we got ridiculous jobs.
You get these.
I don't even know that I'd call this a job. You know what I mean? This is not a normal
It's a
job.
made-up job.
Yeah, this is a job that's totally useless. You know what I mean? Nobody really needs it.
It's a scam.
To me, a job is something a UPS driver is a job. All right.
Not now.
Thank you, Ed.
Maybe this is a UPS driver.
Ed laughs, but he has no job either. All right, this is always
but you
weird.
Do work every day and stuff like that.
This is always weird, but I'm bringing, at least we can sort of get into the mind of a guy who serial kills. I think he's 100% on the level. So you killed your first woman.
When was the last time you killed?
It's been a few months.
Right.
Actually, it's been going on a year.
You're like the Boston Strangler, man. Maybe I should option your story. So, what do you think you're going to do? Do you think you're going to kill yourself? Do you think that
Are you going to kill again?
Can you stop this?
If I killed myself, I'd miss the next Batman movie.
Right. You don't want to do that.
No.
There's a fan.
Actually, I'd kill myself to miss
why
that.
would you want to stay for that?
No, but in all seriousness, do you think that you can control this? Do you think you can stop?
I think I have been.
Oh, you have been for the last couple of months?
A year he hasn't killed.
Oh, a year?
Yeah.
Almost.
So why do you think you stopped killing all of a sudden?
I really don't know, Howard. Part of it had to do with my car broke down.
Oh, no transportation.
Oh, yeah. Seriously? That's the reason?
Well, that was the reason for a month, but after that, I guess it was all self-control.
Wow.
But so you don't want to do this anymore?
No, he wants to do it, but he's controlling himself. But you want to kill women, right?
Sure.
Yeah. And what do you like? Do you enjoy seeing them struggle as you kill them?
Actually, none of them really struggle.
Do you hit them from behind, or do they see it coming?
I can't get inside their minds, but let's just say I hit them.
But, I mean, are you facing them?
Yeah.
Oh, so you can see their face and everything when you do it.
Yeah. The worst I've ever gotten was one tried to grab my neck. I've never gotten any of the claw marks or anything that are dead giveaways.
Right, you must be very powerful.
I wouldn't call myself powerful, maybe intimidating.
Interesting. Howard almost seems to be building him up.
Yeah, he's trying to get him to admit some stuff. For one thing, they were trying to get his job real hard, and they were making jokes about like UPS drivers and stuff like that, and then they thought they maybe caught him there slightly. They mentioned, like he said, it's not a real job anymore, and they're like, well, were you a UPS driver or something like that? Yeah, they were just trying to catch him on something, and then he got him to admit that he wasn't big, and he wasn't necessarily well cut either. He wasn't fat, he wasn't thin, and they were just trying to get it seems like they're trying to get a profile. These two are professionals, Robin and Howard. Robin is probably actually way smarter than Howard most of the time, because she helped run the show entirely basically for them, but they're both clearly trying to build up some information that they intend fully on.
Trying to build him up to make him feel good at some points in time.
Yeah.
Just to get more information out of him. You must be strong.
Yeah. They're definitely trying to get more information that they fully intend on giving over to the authorities after this.
What about his Batman joke?
So, I'm having a hard time remembering what movie was coming out for Batman then. Was it the Arnold Schwarzenegger one?
I have no clue.
Yeah, but that was weird, right? And then it's bad to laugh at it because
he's trying to crack jokes, though. He's trying.
Yeah, this is definitely a serial killer, though. So, at the same time, the whole time I'm disgusted by this whole thing. But at the same time, when Howard said, you might not want to actually watch that, you might just want to kill yourself instead of watching it, that was probably the funniest thing I have ever heard. I don't know. It was so weird and hilarious. This is messed up, though. This is absolutely the craziest thing.
He wants them to know how easy this is to do this, to kill somebody. It's just so easy, right? It's like, there's never a struggle. There's never anything. It's just, I'm so good at it,
Yeah, definitely. He's definitely bragging.
I thought they hit home in the earlier clip when they said, do you ever look them in the eyes and think, this person used to be a kid, they have a family?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't really want to think about that, though. He didn't really respond to that.
I feel like they're probably going to hammer in on this car thing. I don't know. I haven't heard this. But if my guess is right, that they're going to keep bringing up that car, they're probably going to try to figure out what that car is. Because he mentioned that it broke down. I mean, I could be wrong. But if I was them, I would try to kneel down on that, try to figure out what kind of car he has.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly. I think it's getting a little bit of a weird point. Like, how much longer do you try to keep this going on,
Yeah,
For the integrity of your show, almost. I don't really know how else I'm going to say it. Let's jump back in here, though.
Yep.
Why did you choose this method?
I didn't, Robin. Like I told you, I really wanted to cut things up, mail things, send clues.
So she means, why did you use a hammer? You think you...
Because it was in a book I read.
Oh.
Well, everything's come from
Cartoons
somebody
and...
else.
Yeah. When's the last time you got laid?
Last week, Howard.
Oh, yeah, so you didn't kill that girl?
No.
Because she wasn't a hooker?
No.
Right.
It's only hookers, though.
A lot of serial killers are only into hookers because they know, A,
Easy.
probably won't get caught, and B, they have some kind of anger toward hookers. Like, did you think your mom was a hooker or something?
No, Howard.
Your parents married and stay together and the whole thing?
Yeah.
Church-going people?
That'll do it.
Well, one of them, but...
Yeah. Religious fanatics give birth to the most serial killers because they're so repressed.
Yeah.
So there's no way I'm going to talk you into giving yourself up or anything, right?
No.
I shouldn't even waste my time. I know I'm going to get calls after this and people are going to go, Howard, how come you didn't catch him?
Has anybody ever been close to catching you?
No. Actually, someone... Once, when it was in the newspaper, someone joked to me, I know it was you, but, they were joking.
Right.
Yeah.
You think you might be gay?
I hope not.
Right, maybe you're a repressed homosexual. Were you ever molested?
No.
Do you have a lot of tattoos?
I don't have any tattoos. I wouldn't do that to myself.
Right.
And do you get high before you do this?
I've gotten pretty drunk before.
Yeah.
Little anal.
It's a lame one.
Relax that sphincter. Well, I got to say, I wish you would die, but, what can I tell you? I maybe this is sort of good that you're talking about it with me, and maybe it'll keep you under, like maybe I can't get you to turn yourself in.
Like a valve, and he'll be able to go another year.
Yeah, but maybe somehow, you won't do it anymore.
What about your kids? You want them living in a world with people like you?
Hasn't really analyzed it, though.
Anyway, I mean...
Yeah.
Kind of lonely, though. You can't tell anybody about this.
I'm the only guy am I the only guy you ever told about this?
Yeah.
Wow. I guess that's sort of an honor.
I've told a couple of women, Howard, but...
They're dead.
Yeah. Do you tell them first and then you kill them?
Yeah.
What do you say to them? Let me...
Fun.
All right, let's see.
Every now and then you can play the running game if you're out in the middle of nowhere, and we got a lot in the middle of nowhere down here.
Right. So, in other words, let's say you're with a woman, right? A hooker.
Yeah, Howard.
And you say to her, okay, honey, you just had sex and everything. What do you say to her to torment her? How do you break the news to her that she's going to die?
It really depends on my mood.
Just give us an example.
Well, if I wanted to, I could just say Baba Booey, but that would be pretty,
No, come on, be serious. What do you say to him?
I can say you're going to die.
And then what do they do?
I like to articulate a little more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's a lot to unpack with that one. He says his name an awful lot, doesn't he? Howard.
Yeah.
Am I the only one picking up on, like, saying his name in an unusual amount of time?
Yeah, so early on, he was like, am I talking to Howard right now? And he's like, yeah. That was like the first clip,
Am I talking to Howard? Yeah, I guess maybe he thought he was still talking to producer or something.
Yeah, producers beforehand. And so I don't know if he was still feeling that out this late into the thing or what. I'm not sure there. I think he has some sort of obsession with Howard Stern at this point, just in general, and that's why he decided to call and tell him about everything.
I think the Baba Booey joke is from that show.
Yeah, I think he does it, yeah.
You could tell he was disgusted, though, that he used it in context with what he was doing.
He definitely got him to say that he had no tattoos. And so that was
picked up on that, too.
Yeah. And so, like, immediately, now they can, narrow it down to a guy with no tattoos, white guy, average build, all these things. Obviously that's not a huge narrowing down, but maybe in the area that he's in, because he did mention, like, what they call the neighborhood that he gets these prostitutes from.
Jimmy Swaggertown, Red Light District, is its nickname or something? Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. They definitely have more and more information as this is going on, and I don't think this guy realizes just how much he's given up. Howard said, I just wish he would die, know, and it's like, yeah, that's a pretty reasonable response to this whole thing. Like, he's having to deal with the fact that he knows he's talking to a serial killer. Like, this is 100% real at this point. I'm 100% convinced that this is an actual killer he's on the phone with. And I'm assuming he's got the same realizations, like, there's no way I'm not talking to a killer right now. That amount of disgust that he's got me feeling, you could just imagine it. Like, this guy called to tell you and basically brag on national radio that he murders prostitutes.
Yeah, real proud of it.
Yeah.
Very nonchalant about it, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
Creepy as hell.
Jeff Townsend Media. CG, good night.
And the question is, do I stay here? Will you be back? Are you gonna come back? Will you be back? Are you coming back?